everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Toni Vanschoyck. I've been an entrepreneur, a serialpreneur actually, for over 20 years. And especially over the last 10, we've been able to build an amazing, several businesses actually. And what I had found is that, especially in the area of entrepreneurism, is that financial literacy really is lacking. And I use this term in a sense that, you guys, I want to make, investing money, using your own resources and everything, I want to make it, face forward, and I want to make it sexy, because it's not. People get so confused and they get turned off by, how to invest your money, how to put more money into your pocket instead of paying, extra in taxes, how you can invest your capital gains. And also a really cool concept that I've been working with for over 2 years. You guys, I am not the expert. The people that you're going to hear from today are experts. Just me, as being where I have been, I have brought these people together because they are experts in what they do. And so therefore, I want to share what I have learned from them to share with you on how to build generational wealth, legacy wealth. And that's where we are. So don't mind me. I'm out of my element. I'm somewhere very, very cold. I'm not used to it. So, but we had to get this information out there and get the ball rolling, especially before the end of this year, because that's going to be also crucial in helping you starting your own journey in this. So without further ado, I'm going to first turn it over to Greg. Greg and I, we've known each other for about a year and a half. He's a beast. Everything that he's been able to do, I've sent him and Melissa a ton of referrals. They've been able to help people so much. And I just want them to share what they do so they can help you. So we're going to turn it over to Greg first, and he's going to really talk about how you can divert a lot more money into your own portfolio instead of into taxes. So Greg, without further ado, if you will go ahead and kick this call off, I would certainly appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Toni. I hope you guys are doing well today. So as Toni mentioned, what I'm going to help teach you guys it's really not about how much money you have in your retirement funds, your retirement plans, whatever it may be. It's how much you can spend in retirement. That's all that really matters. One thing that we've been told is kind of the old paradigm. As most people know, it's going to sound a lot like this. When you do retire, you're going to be in a lower tax bracket, right? And you will be able to live on less income during those retirement years. And third, your tax deferred retirement plans, such as your traditional IRA, 401k, 403b, those are the absolute best place to put your money. That is what the old paradigm sounds like. I'm going to explain what the new paradigm looks like and why. I'm just kind of setting up a basis of what this call is really about. And that's really making sure you protect yourself now and in the future. So the new paradigm actually looks a little bit more like this. Taxes will most likely be higher, even possibly double than they currently are by 2030. And I'll go into that in just a minute. You may need as much, if not more, income due to inflation and less deductions when you are retired, such as mortgage. Most people, when they're retired, their mortgage is paid off, so they don't get to deduct the mortgage insurance, right? Mortgage interest. Your kids are most likely out of the house. That's a big deduction. And you're no longer giving your money to those tax deferred plans and being able to write off that contribution for tax purposes. Finally, tax deferred is not horrible. It's not bad, right? It is okay to put in up to the match that your employer offers you. And you want to do it strategically so that when you do retire, when you're required to take minimum distributions, you can actually receive those tax-free. There's a calculation. It's different for everyone. We can go through that. And I tell you this because I don't know how many of you know or remember Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, right? There was an episode where Wile E. Coyote was getting a trap ready for the Roadrunner. Well, there was a train that was heading down the train tracks. And of course, Roadrunner pushes the house onto the train tracks. Basically, what that train symbolizes is the taxes that are coming in future taxation with unpaid obligations our government has. There's many experts stating that taxes need to at least double by 2030 if we want to continue the way we're moving. But what did the coyote did? He saw out the window the train was coming, and he didn't get himself off the tracks. He just pulled the shade down, right? He just wanted to pull the shade down and not look at it, and hopefully it would go away. And we all know what happens with the coyote. He never dies, but he definitely walked off limping. So that's one thing we want to help avoid. We want to protect what you've currently grown. Okay. We want to make sure that any kind of down market, which I don't know where you guys stand, but it's about time. The market's cyclical. We want to protect your assets. We also want to grow your assets, but we want to grow it the right way, which is tax free. So if you position yourself properly to grow your money tax free, even if taxes do double, 2 times 0 is still 0. So that is kind of more of a high level of what this call is really about. That's the basis. We want to protect your assets, we want to grow your assets, and we want you to be able to live off of them tax free for the rest of your life. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Melissa, and Melissa is going to talk about one of the many strategies that we introduce to all of our clients and business owners that can help be a part of that strategy. So Melissa, take it from here.
Yes, thank you, Greg. I love that. I mean, all of you are doing, you're ahead of the game, right? You made a decision to be here today to come learn about these concepts. And of course, this is like Greg mentioned, this is just going to be a quick high level, and then we can, follow up with you guys individually to kind of go into more deeper discussions on this, because everything financially is really customized to you personally. Everybody's not the same. How much money you have coming in is going to be different. How much money you have going out is going to be different. How much money you want to save or need for your retirement is going to be different. So all of those spending topics and everything that Greg mentioned, it's going to be customized to each person that we sit down with. So a little bit about me real quick. I own a very successful financial coaching business here in the Charleston, South Carolina area. I'm originally from Tennessee. I've been in Charleston about 4 years. And one of the biggest things that we focus on with my business here is making sure that we get people in a place where they learn how money really works, right? And I know that sounds silly because we know that we got to make it. And then we know that we've got bills and obligations and things like that we spend it on. But when we understand, and I love to give this example, I'll tell you something that you can go look up when you're finished with the call today. But I love it when you have people that really understand the concept of compounding interest and things like that, right? How can you get your money working for you? That's the key. So if we can use our money in multiple areas at the same time, if we can have going and working for us, then we can work smarter, not harder, right? So that's one of the things we focus on with our clients. We also want to go through all of the steps to reach financial independence. A lot of people want to go from point A, right where they're at right now, and I'm working my job and I'm saving money, and then they want to just skip over to the wealth building piece because that's where we get into all the fun topics, right? But we want to make sure there's debt management. There's making sure that certain protection pieces are in place for you and your family or you and your business. We want to make sure that all those things are in place, and there's an order to that to make sure that we get you to the right place where you do have discretionary income, and we can help you create that to be able to do all the things you want to do for your future. Then we want to implement the plan. This is the biggest step that most people want to skip over. I don't know if any of you have ever read a book and you're like, you read it and you highlight all these amazing concepts and all these amazing things in the book, right? And then you get to the 5 or 6 months later, you're like, gosh, I read that in this book about 6 months ago, but you walked away and didn't implement any of it. That's going to be the biggest piece to what you're hearing today. If there's something that stands out to you, write it down, highlight it, circle it, and say, I have to go back to that within 24 to 48 hours to make sure that I'm taking action on all these things that people are bringing to the table. Okay. Now, let me ask you, just throw it in the chat, or you can even unmute. I'm all about the interaction piece. Have any of you heard of a concept where you can actually grow your wealth, get market gains, but be protected from market loss? Do you know that exists? Even shaking of the heads, I can kind of see you. I know Toni does, as we've taught. All right, Phyllis does. Anybody else? Yes. Okay, awesome. That's good. That's good. Me, 6 years ago, had no clue that this even existed, right? So I'm going to share a little picture with you, and it's going to be a lot because we got to make this quick. Normally, I like to do one step at a time and bring this information up on screen, but I'm going to show you in the next 3 minutes what this does, okay, all together. Let me move our pictures out of the way because I can't see it. All right, so this is what we call a wealth account. This is all centered around a strategy that we call infinite banking, right? So infinite banking can get you a high rate of return. It can be safe and protected from market loss. It can also be tax-free if created and structured properly. It can be a tax-free account for you as well. It offers a lot of different benefits. Let me tell you, if you were going to go out and buy one tool that you wanted to take out into the woods with you for survivorship, this would be a great tool for you to utilize. Now, it's not perfect for everybody. I'm not saying that everybody on here needs to go out and be sitting down talking about a wealth account, but I will tell you that a high percentage of people, this works really, really well for them, right? It's going to get you cash accumulation. There's no age rules like required minimum distributions that Greg's going to go into more details on things like that, that the government tells you you have to take this out once you hit a certain age, and it can interfere with Social Security and things like that. This does not do that, right? This can be a supplement to your retirement planning that you already have in place. If you don't have anything in place, then what's great is you've got a whole financial team here to work together to help you implement all these strategies. We're going to work as a team for you, not as individuals. It can help you with college funding. It has a flexible premium, meaning that if you need to, I've got a single mom that makes $50,000 a year. She needs to start really low. She can do that. I have a, well-known business owner over here who owns multiple businesses, and they want to drop $100,000 or $200,000 a year into this thing. You can do that too. So it's going to be flexible to meet, pretty much any budget that is in front of us. And if we have to go back to the budget piece, that's where the financial planning that my team brings to the table, we can help you with that as well. It has a death benefit. So your beneficiaries are going to get a death benefit if and when you step out of life. That's going to step in to help them with anything else. It can be part of the estate as far as estate planning and things like that as well, to carry on for generations. You're going to be able to use strategies like this for real estate investing or for other things, fix and flips. A lot of people want to do that. They'll want to have the cash that they can borrow their own money, right? That's where the banking concept comes in. And it's infinite because if you borrow it, you utilize it, and you pay it back, then you can do that as many times as you want to throughout the lifetime of this plan, if it's structured to do that. And also it has long-term care components, critical care, chronic illness, and lots of other benefits that can come with this particular strategy. When you go to pull this money out during distribution, it can also be tax-free. Again, if that's structured properly and you've gone through the process of making sure that that is something that you want to have happen when you reach your retirement years, then you can pull the distributions of this plan out tax-free as well. So this is something that we can do a deep dive on at a later time. I'm going to throw the mic back to Greg. And if you guys have any questions, I'll be here throughout the call. And I'll throw my contact information up in the chat as well for you guys. So thanks, Greg.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. So one thing that Melissa went over is it's really usable for anyone, personal, for business owners. You can use it for your children, all these different things. So that is definitely really, really good to look at on a personal level. But I know that we're here with Toni because Toni is a serial entrepreneur, right? And I know her outreach is to a lot of serial entrepreneurs as well. I myself, I have 4 streams of 1099 income. And I know a lot of people here are self-employed business owners. So who I'm going to introduce next, and he's going to wrap us up. His name is Kent Dougherty. He is the president and CEO of a company called Tax Prep Advocates. Tax Prep Advocates is an amazing company. I work with them. I am going to be the point of contact for everybody that needs help with that. But I brought in the CEO and the president to talk to you guys to help the business owners, the self-employed, 1099 contractors, gig workers. So without any further ado, Kent Dougherty, take it away.
All right. Thank you so much, Greg. Hey, it's really fun to be with everybody today. You all look beautiful. You all have beautiful backgrounds. Mine's digital and is really blurry, so I'm doing my best, but this is as good as I get. So my name is Kent, like Clark Kent, like Superman. Great to meet you. I just threw my website in the chat, just so if you want to learn a little bit about this guy that's yakking at you can just go to kentdougherty.com, read a little bit about me. But I thought I would take just a really short period of time. I'm going to take about only 2.5 hours to go through my presentation. I'm just kidding. I'll be done in like 4 minutes. So I'm gonna give you a ton of data, and I'm gonna shrink it like you can't even believe. So let's make sure that I can share my screen. I think I can. Hopefully it's all working. Okay, so our company is called Tax Prep Advocates, and I love what I do. Guess what I get to do? I get to give away money. Merry Christmas. And so my job in this call in 3 minutes is to say that the federal government has passed legislation in the years 2020 and 2021 that just dumps buckets of cash on all kinds of people. Everybody that we talk to typically fits into one of 3 categories. Category number 1, probably you are a self-employed independent contractor. You got a gig, you're in MLM, you're a sole proprietor, you own a single member LLC, whatever it is, you're self-employed. Guess what? You're entitled to money. And that money is up to a maximum of $32,220. And I'm going to show you how you can get your hands on it right away. This is a fully funded tax credit put forth by the United States Congress. It was produced in 2020. It was modified in 2021, modified again in 2022, and you can get up to $32,000. I'm going to show you exactly how. The second thing that I'm going to show you, it's probably for less of you, is a subject called ERC. It's Employee Retention Tax Credits. This program, most of us have seen it on TV. We've been kind of bombarded by it. But what it allows is for employers to get up to $26,000 for employees that they had on their payroll during COVID. And the government is paying businesses back for qualified wages for employees that they had on their books, and they didn't fire them and they didn't put them onto the unemployment system. And that's what employee retention tax credits are. We have a lot of fun with this. We are onboarding between 5 and 50 brand new companies every single day. This program expired, the first of the many tax credits expires in April. And so there's a deadline on both of the things that I'm talking to you about. So pay close attention, take action when we're done. And I want to wrap all of this up here. And again, you can get up to a maximum of $32,220. And it's a provision under the law called FFCRA. It's the Families First Coronavirus Response Act. That's the specific legislation. It's a process that is not rocket science. Actually, it is rocket science for you. It's not rocket science for us because we process hundreds of these every single day. And for us, it's pretty fast and easy. For you, good luck. I don't think you could do it to save your life. And by the way, of the 500 CPAs that I've personally spoken with, I have personally met one and only one that knows how to file this very specific tax amendment. If you want to Google it, feel free. You'll Google FFCRA and you'll find a half a dozen companies similar to mine that help taxpayers go get their money. The eligibility requirements are as follows. Number 1, you have to have made money as a self-employed person during the COVID era. If you made 0, you're going to get 0. If you made a little bit, you're going to get a little bit. If you made a good amount, which is around 70, 80,000, that's how you're going to get the full 32 grand. That's number 1. Number 2, if you had children, minor children, under the age of 18 in calendar years 2020 and 2021, That's the second way to max this program out. So just think about it. It's for anybody that was impacted by COVID. And by the way, can you think of anybody who wasn't? I can't. I have 4 kids. So between school closures, somebody wasn't feeling good. I got an email from the school saying, hey, your son was exposed to some other kid who presented symptoms. He should stay home and quarantine. So quarantine orders. You guys all remember that? Hey, 14 days to slow the spread. Well, that impacted all of us. So the way to determine qualification is really just by answering a few simple questions. This website that I'm showing you is a website that Greg and Toni will share with all of you, and you can go through this. It takes like a whopping 2 minutes. I'll come right back in a second. I'll show you one more thing. The cool things is this is zero risk, right? It does not, you don't have to pay any money out of pocket in order to get started. Now, that might sound too good to be true. It isn't. It's just too good to be free. So yes, we get paid. We just get paid at the end, not at the beginning. We have found that a lot of Americans are really hurting financially. And so we made a decision as a business that we're going to hire our tax attorneys, our certified public accountants, enrolled agents, former IRS agents to do all the work right up front, actually produce the returns for you. And you don't have to pay us until after the federal government pays you. Pretty cool. So we have a contingent deferred fee. It's 20%. So whatever we get you, it might be $1,000, it might be 5,000, it might be 20, it might be 30. It's a maximum of 32. So whatever it is, we have a 20% fee. We also have an amendment, a filing fee that we charge. It's $495. That also is paid after you get your money, and that's going to pay our CPAs and tax attorneys. We will give you an opportunity to get $100 off. So when the work is all finished, if you want a $100 discount, you can pay $395 on a credit card, or you can just wait till you get your money from the Fed and we'll charge you $495 after you get it. On our website, there's tons of FAQs, right? What is it? How does it work? What's the documentation that I need? Blah, blah, blah. It's really simple, you guys. All we need is a couple things. We need some Q&A on our website. We need you to upload 3 years of tax returns, 2019, 20, and 21. Your finished tax returns, plus all the schedules, and a copy of your license. That's it. Our CPAs will do all of the work analyzing the data to be able to come up with your exact return amount. Now, this Superman needs his glasses. So let me just show you how Estimator works real quick. It's pretty cool. All you got to do is put in your name, email address, phone number, and then we want to know how much you made in 2020. Now, what's cool, there's lots of little provisions. It says, hey, use your 2019 income if it's higher. So we use the higher of your 19 or 20 tax return to show your income. I put in 78 grand just for an example. And then it says, put in your higher of your 20 or 21 income. Now it wants many days that you had to sacrifice work because you were quarantining, presented symptoms, you were sick. You don't have to have COVID, but maybe you got the sniffles and they told you to stay home. Same thing about staying home with your kids. And these last two sections are really questions about your children and being able to not work because you were caring for minor kids. Then you just click this button that says calculate your estimated credit. And bing, bang, boom, it'll take and 1,000 pages of tax code, and it'll pull it right through to your estimate. Now, here's again why I love what I do. Congratulations, Merry Christmas. The IRS is going to cut you a check in this example for $29,772.12. Okay, so we're just giving away free money. I love that. If you get zero, you pay zero. If you get a lot, we get a percentage of whatever it is. This calculator here, it's kind of part two, really allows you to dial in your information. Let's say you just guesstimated at first at 78,000, but when you went back and looked at your taxes, it was really 68,978 bucks, right? So you're really fine tuning it. This calculator is super interactive. This cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars to interpret thousands of pages of tax code onto a simple interactive spreadsheet. And so it's spot on accurate. Hey, once it's all done, you guys, it's so simple. Look right here. It just says, click here to process your credit. Boom. It's all you got to do. This allows somebody to read our terms and conditions. You'll it says by checking the box, you agree to our terms and conditions, including a 20% contingent deferred fee payable to our firm, Tax Prep Advocates. Now, by the way, our system is pretty darn intuitive. It will also send the client emails and the referring emails every step of the way saying, hey, thanks for hitting our estimator. Next email, hey, we're waiting for you to agree to the terms and conditions. The next email, hey, we're waiting for you to input your information into our survey. This is a very detailed survey. And again, what you're doing here is you're hiring a certified public accountant who is also an income tax lawyer to do this work for you. But have you ever heard of a lawyer doing work for you without getting a big old fat retainer fee right up front? Yeah, me neither. So I'm pretty stoked about the way that we've done this program. Make it really simple for you. So we rely on accurate data. This survey takes you to the next phase, which is what we call document upload. And so to upload documents, it's literally, we want one PDF for 2019, and that's with all your tax return, all the schedules. And then the next year, same thing, 2020, we want one document, one PDF with your entire tax return, all of the schedules. And we do that 3 times for 19, 20, 21, copy your driver's license. That's it. We'll take it from there. We'll be able to bust this out and email you your results. By the way, the results are cool. They come to you in email. And so it's literally, hey, here's your email. This is your Form 7202 and your amended 1040Xs. Don't worry about the details of it. It's all stuff that has to be done perfectly. We do a full-on amendment of your 20 and 21 tax returns for you. We totally analyze those. We look for mistakes that your CPA already made. Oh, by the way, your CPA already made mistakes by not filing for this program for you. Almost nobody has filed for this program. I'm talking nobody. And so you're welcome in advance, and Merry Christmas in advance for doing for you, which nobody else already did. And it's your money. You deserve it. All you got to do is go get it. Congress passed the initiative. It is now factually law. All you need is to get with Toni or Greg or the person that invited you to this webinar, ask for their replicated link so we can give proper attribution and credit where credit is due, and we'll take care of the rest. So that's 2 hours crammed into 12 minutes. That was as fast as I could go, Greg. I'll be happy to answer any questions, or I can shut up and go about my day. Your choice.
Good stuff, dude. That was really, really good. Appreciate you cramming it down, because I know it is a lot of information. And I know it's a pretty complex refund. All of it is. And that's why we bring in people that know what they're doing, right? Perfect. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Hand clap on that one. So what we'll do, we'll wrap this up. If you guys have any questions, reach out to the person who invited you, whether it was myself, Toni, Melissa. There's another couple of people on here that we're inviting people as well. Reach out to them. If you don't know who invited you, just reach out to myself or Toni. We'll make sure to get you to the right place. We'll answer any questions, and we will divert you however you need to. If you want to go through with any debt management, budgeting, setting up your wealth account, anything like that, speak out to Melissa. If you have a bunch of assets and tax deferred strategies that you're concerned about with future taxation and loss, reach out to me. We'll get you taken care of. We are here to be your financial team. And I want to turn it back over to Toni for closing statements. Toni, thank you so much for having us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much. So you guys, for the SETC and the ERC, Greg, can you just tell them what your email is so they can reach out to you personally for that?
Yes, I will put it in the chat, but it is gmsmith.tpa@gmail.com.
Okay. And the reason why, you guys, is because I firmly feel that people should take advantage of this, because this is money that is eligible to you. I know that, when we did it, we were eligible for $23,000. That's not chump change. And I'm going to turn right around and I'm going to reinvest it into my infinite banking and also capital gains that we had this year. So this is really about education, about all the different things out there that nobody, it's very it's not known. And so therefore I want to be the person that's educating people out there that you really need to take advantage of these things in order, especially with the credits that the government has given us, and also with protecting your money. That's my huge thing. So I want to thank everybody for being on this call. Melissa, thank you. Greg, thank you. Kent, really appreciate it. Great information. And I will get the recording up and we'll be giving it to y'all. Okay, thank you so much, you guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.